Welcome to Great Talk and Entertainment. I'm your host, KJ, and this is the podcast where I review movies and TV shows from all your favorite superheroes, including Marvel Comics, DC Comics, and much more. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talk and Entertainment official channel. Now let's go, baby. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast as we continue on for the new Disney Plus series by Star Wars, The Acolytes. This is episode 7 spoiler reviews. If you have not seen it, pause this. Give me a thumbs up if you can, because that would help my YouTube channel to grow, I should say. And watch all of it. Watch all the episodes leading up to this. And check out my other spoiler reviews from episode 1 to this current one and all the way to the last episode. Basically, it's all going to be spoiler reviews, so check them out. But please watch The Acolytes first, and then come check this out, because I would love to hear your opinions, your Star Wars theories, and just how you feel about season 1. So again, this is a spoiler review. Y'all been warned. Let's get into it. Episode 7 is a flashback to the origin story of Osha and May, but told again in a different view, by revealing more of what actually happened in that situation/event. Soul and Torben both, in a way, had the same desire to achieve, but they both have different reasons to do this and try to capture May and Osha. And Soul felt Osha should be his Padawan, and from there it just seemed that it was going to be something more personal to him. Like, it just seems like he just had an emotional connection with Osha, and it just seems like in his past he may have seen a scenario or situation like this before in his past life. But this is where we see right here that it seemed like he was going to do the right thing, but made some bad choices, or the wrong choice. Soul's the reason why May is after him and all the other Jedis from what she has accomplished and that she's still working towards, because Soul was the reason why their mother died, because he stabbed her because of the fact that he thought that she was going to do something because they were in a war. And it's unclear if she was trying to save any of the characters within the part where the fire happened and we realized that May just did it by accident. We know the other woman who's helped birth Osha and May, she told May to use her anger, let it out, let that guide her. And so May was kind of pretty much blind on rage. So, but also one could argue maybe Osha and May's mother was trying to save Soul from this, because she did reveal that she was going to give Osha to the Jedis, like she was going to let her live out her life the way she would want to, but it didn't turn out that. And so now we understand that May was traumatized. She's got PTSD to this because she saw her mom get stabbed, pretty much. And with Torben, they showed what went on in his mind, before that. And all he wanted to do was go back to this planet, his home planet. And with the results of that, it just seems like from there, maybe Osha and May's mother was up to no good. But I believe the reason why I want to bring that up is because I believe she assumed that they were up to no good. But as she got into Torben's mind, maybe when he just wanted to go back to his home planet, it was just for a personal reason, not because maybe a Jedi might have, murked his parents or whatever, but maybe he just comes from a poor planet as well. And this was an opportunity to give him a better life. So maybe one day Torben can go back to his home planet and maybe save it in some sort. And maybe when she did that, she saw the good in him. Because I don't think Torben's bad. I just think he just had a reason, in his mind, a good reason to do what he needed to do within this situation. So I think that as well. So I really believe that Osha and May's mom was trying to save them from the other witches' covenant. Maybe she can outpower them. I mean, she is kind of the leader, basically. So I can see something like that. But again, it was very unclear what she was going to do. Her body turned into dust. We didn't know where it was going to go. And because of the fact, too, we learned that their blood work test came in. And obviously it revealed that Osha and May are actually one person, one soul, but just split. Basically, it's yin and yang in a way. And another thing, after they found that out, and again, like, think about this too, Sol and Torben did not hesitate when they found out, and they were rushed off. And they were ready to do whatever they needed to do to get those two girls, Osha and May, at the time. And yes, again, the fire, we learned that the fire was just an accident. And that none of the girls killed their own mother. We know that it was Sol who killed it. And then we see this big, big battle scene. The Wookiee Jedi was mind controlled by one of the witches, and it showed us how Torben got in his scars because that Wookiee was messing him up. And we see that the Jedi Master, Indria, had made a choice that most Jedis will not agree are done in their own mind. But she had to wipe out all the witches, like murk them, kill them, destroy them, eliminate them, just to save the Wookiee Jedi. And we see that at the end of that episode, they had to make a choice. And they decided to cover up that lie with another lie and kind of rearrange the truth. They put some truth in it, but not the whole truth. And it was very interesting because we saw all the Jedis, Jedi Indria and Sol, she was about to choke him out, knock him out, beat him up, whatever you want to call it. But it was a nuts thing. But that's the first time within the prequel that you can easily say two Jedis or all the Jedis within this group like snapped, like them following the books, being loyal to the Jedi way. They just snapped and made some choices by their own emotions. Like, you can easily say this could lead them to the Sith Lord, the dark side, but this is a dark cover-up secret for a Star Wars franchise, series or show or movie. And the reason why I say that is because of the fact that this is breaking all the Jedi rules that in other previous Star Wars films, those particular characters never broke the rules like that. You could say Anakin, but not the way like that. Anakin wasn't trying to cover it up. He was trying to let it be known, like, I'm changing everything. I'm gonna fix all this. That's what Anakin Skywalker, or AKA Darth Vader, was trying to do. With these, it's a whole different type of cover up. Like, they weren't supposed to murder the witches. They weren't supposed to use violence like that. They weren't supposed to lie and be disloyal. Like, this changes the game. And it seems like so far, like, this is the first incident to cause the Jedi way to finally fall. This was like the first seed, or the first step, I should say, to the destruction of the fallen Jedis. So it's very interesting to see that, and we don't know where some of the other Star Wars characters from the prequels are at within this timeline. I know this is 1000 or BC before the episode 1, Star Wars episode 1, but that don't mean Yoda might be a little bit younger. He's still old, but he might be a little bit younger than the age he was in episode 1, is what I'm saying. But I mean, that's not saying a lot, cuz his species are they're known for living a lot, for a very long time, basically. So I wonder if, how did he not know, or did he know? That's the more interesting question. Because I have to believe that Yoda in this timeline by this episode is he's there. He's physically there. He's in the position of the High Republican or council where he's at in episode 1 through 3. But I have to believe that he's that version of Yoda. Like, he's part of the top rank. He makes the final decision, and because he's lived a long time, he's been around, and he's wise and mature. So I have to believe that they cannot outsmart Yoda and cover this up. So I have to believe some way, somehow, within the Force, Yoda knows what's going on. And I think that's my biggest concern out of this. For this series to show the same episode, but show it again in a different viewpoint, and they're showing through the Jedi viewpoint. So we saw the way Osha, May, and other people within the Witches' Covenant would view this. That was our first viewing of it. Then they re-showed the incident again of the origin of Osha and May and what caused this situation to happen, but in the Jedi way. So the Jedi way is pretty much retelling the same story, but saying, okay, we messed up. We broke some oath here. We made some bad choices. Because if you remember, as we get to the first thing of the discussion topic is soul's choice. So if you remember, this is the second time they went back, where Osha and May were on a bridge path and were on their home planet, and this is where it exploded. Soul uses the Force to hold them both, and he chooses Osha and lets May fall. Now, the argument is this: if he could catch Osha from falling, or have May lay down on her back and still float in midair, or in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, when Obi-Wan saved Princess Leia, when a little girl version, to fall and catch her with her Force. That means to me, personally, this is how I always believed how the Force is explained within Star Wars continuity, is that the stronger and more focused you're with the Force, the stronger you get to lift people or objects and hold them a lot longer. And it doesn't matter the size or the weight. You know, it should not be heavy. The only thing is they're struggling with is losing concentration on the Force, because if they panic or have any type of emotion, then they're both going to fall. So he had to really focus. But he knew that he couldn't do it, because deep down inside, all he wanted to do was just take Osha. He didn't really care to take May away. He only was going to do that just because it would help him get to Osha. And that's why when Saul was like, look, I'll confess, and then Indria was like, no, we're not. We're going to tell him this. We're going to say May is the reason why. she started the fire, and then they put some lies in between the gaps of taking certain parts of the truth. That's what you mean called stretching out the truth. And then she guilt tripped him and say, hasn't she, Osha, have been there enough? And she's out conscious. And that's why they made this choice. So here's the problem that I'm concerned about, and they may not even show Yoda in this series. I don't know. It's, again, what I was saying earlier, I have to believe he knows what's going on. I believe he sensed that there's something going on because he can connect to all the Jedis throughout the Force and know that they done something bad. They done messed up. And so I think it's crazy, like, these characters, and maybe they didn't want to write it, or maybe they tried it and just scrapped it within this scene, but these Jedi seem too loose. Like, they don't seem so worried about it or panicking in the way I would imagine. Like, they should be talking about, oh, but Yoda knows. Like, you better hope Yoda doesn't know. Master Jedi Yoda does not know. Like, he will sense this. He will know about this. Like, that's something we cannot hide. Nothing like that. And I just thought that when they don't bring stuff up like that or reference Yoda in a way like that, I feel like they're trying to say that Yoda's not that good. He's not that smart. Like, if the way his age is, he should be wise and mature, and he should know. Like, he's been around the block a lot, like 1,000 more times. Like, so I can't really see how this is gonna go without mentioning Yoda. Like, Yoda knows when a Jedi. I mean, Yoda knew when Anakin, went and slaughtered all those kids, in the training session room. So I just gotta believe that Yoda knows about this, and I would be kind of disappointed if they don't put Yoda at Episode 8. I don't care if it was a post credit, like, just him showing there would rest our minds of, like, he has to know, because you don't just go up to Yoda and try to lie. You can't not lie to Yoda. Like, you can try, but you're gonna fail. Like, he would know. Like, that's one reason why he's one of the top Jedis, like one of the best. Like, the man's fought Darth Maul. Like, you're crazy for not thinking that. I mean, he's been through a lot. He's been through a lot. He's been in a lot of battles, so I have to believe that. Now, let's talk about the Jedis. Even when I bring up about Yoda, it's still crazy that if Yoda knows, did he just consciously just say, I gotta fall back and let this happen? Because maybe the Jedi falling, which the Jedi did fall, maybe this is a thing that it's just destined to happen. Like, maybe all this stuff and everything they worked hard for was not going to last forever. Maybe it was never ever going to be perfect. But for whatever reason why Yoda did this, he believed it. He's believed that the Jedi way is the way. I think he believes in peace, calm, and harmony, and love. But I think he knew deep down inside, like, this is destined to fail. The Jedi way, it was destined to crumble and fall. And it already started before Episode 1. So, the way Anakin Skywalker pretty much became Darth Vader, this episode proves that the Jedi way is needs to be fixed or go away, like, because it seems like all they do is cause pain and heartbreaks. But there is Star Wars comic books and regular books that have a happy ending where the Jedis are the hero and they save the day. Well, I'm not saying that's never a thing, but maybe in this particular, so far in the timeline, it was already going to go downhill. So I think that's very interesting. But other than that, I think at 1 out of 10, I'm giving this a 6. I wish they would have explained some things a little bit more, make it more clear with particular characters like Soul. But other than that, I had no problem. I like this different view of it, this or viewpoint, I should say. I thought it was very interesting to see that's how these particular Jedi's think, and I have to believe like a lot of other Jedi's think that way too. So, but that's just my review, y'all. So thank you so much. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talking Entertainment Official channel. Subscribe, hit that notification button so you can always be updated with all my latest content. Thank you guys, and peace out.